I, m19, am part of an anonymous cuddling group, and my mother, f50, who I live with, disapproves. Okay, so let me try my best to explain. I live in NYC, and I have found an underground cuddling network in my local neighborhood. Basically, you can find someone of your preferred gender and spend the night cuddling with them and having a platonic hookup. Most of the time I just cuddle with the girls and watch Netflix, or a scary movie, but occasionally the girls will leave the room and we can have a nice night out, such as watching a movie or going out downtown. Plus I am kinda socially anxious around women, and this gives me a lot of much-wanted hands-on experience with them. I have found there are a surprisingly high amount of women near me interested in platonic hookups. But when I tried explaining this all to my mother, she got really mad at me. She said the whole thing was weird and pervy, and that it didn't sit right with her. She said I should be cuddling with girls older than me, and that I should just get a girlfriend like a normal boy my age. She hasn't outright told me she forbids me from doing it. She does give me funny looks when she sees women pick me up and drop me off. I can't drive yet. What could be considered weird and pervy about it? I feel like the first rule of anonymous cuddling group should be, don't tell your mom. They pick you up to cuddle at their house? She's probably concerned for you. There are a lot of bad people in the world. 19 is quite young and naive, or at least perceived as such. Especially if you're talking from a 30-plus perspective. Does she understand it's meant to be platonic cuddling, and cuddling isn't a euphemism for sex? Also, what is your plan if they decide they're doing more than cuddling and you are alone in their house with them and can't drive yourself home? You have a plan, right? My wife met someone else and lost herself. 5 years ago I met the love of my life. We moved in together and got engaged pretty fast, and it felt right. We got married almost 2 years ago and I had never been happier. We are both 32F. I had some issues with my health, both mental and physical, and my wife was a huge help and support for me. About a year ago I started to see some changes in my wife's behavior, and I tried to get her to get some help. She seemed to be stressed, overwhelmed and tired, and I was really worried about her. The more I worried and tried to talk about it, the more she got annoyed with me. So I dropped the subject. Then she met someone. She told me that she had a crush and the person had a crush on my wife. She said that it didn't mean anything, that it was just a crush and she wanted just me and that she wouldn't see the person. But suddenly she felt that the connection was so strong that she had to see the person and figure out what the connection means. Then the situation escalated real bad. She started to question if people are supposed to be with just one person, and she couldn't say that she didn't want anything more than friendship with the person. She said that she doesn't know herself anymore. We went to see a therapist, but we just can't get to the same page. Now we have reached a point where we have separated, and she told me that she can't figure out her own problems while thinking how I feel. She told me that she can't work on our relationship and that she needs to be free. Whatever that means. So I have set her free and filed for a divorce. I'm shattered and I hate it, but I miss her like hell. She is being so selfish, and she is not the woman who I married. But as I have lost the one person who was always there and who I would like to talk to about this, I'm turning to you guys. I feel like I've made a mistake and I should fight for my person, but I know that I can't do all the fighting on my own. She isn't fighting for me, and it feels like she was waiting for me to make the hard decision for her. So if you have gone through something similar, I would love to hear about how you got over losing the love of your life. And maybe some validation that I have the right to feel all these feelings and I deserve someone who wants me even in hard times. Marriage is not a guarantee against apathy and emotional betrayal. All you can do is pick up the pieces and live for your future. Every moment that you spend living in the past is a piece of the present that is not being treasured. Of course your feelings are valid. But remember, you can fight for your relationship all you want. It takes two people to fight for that relationship. If the other side is not into fighting, it will be a fight that you will lose. And if you do not watch out, you will lose yourself too. Choose yourself. Be strong, provide a certain emotional distance between the both of you. If she feels you are not available anymore for her, she might reconsider her actions. And then it is up to you if you still want to reconsider. Went through the same thing, sort of. Wife got strange very fast after 10 years marriage. 6 months later it came out she cheated on me with her ex. We are still here, but it is a very thin line. Spouse wants an open relationship or a divorce. I'm sure posts on this topic are a dime a dozen, but I'll give you my sob story anyway. My spouse and I are very much in love and have a great relationship aside from a few big things. Namely that he has been sexually coercive our entire relationship, and had been emotionally abusive as well. This finally clicked for him a few months ago and he's working on it in therapy. Because of the abuse, I don't want to have sex with him. I don't feel safe and my libido turns off and I freeze. It's been like this for a while. He came back from therapy and said that he needs sex, so either he gets a green light to get a fuck buddy or we get divorced. Clearly we don't have a healthy relationship, which would make ethical non-monogamy impossible. So that's a deal-breaker for me. But he's doing work to change his abusive behavior and I love him so much. Getting divorced would devastate me. Not to mention that I got married very young and getting divorced after just a few years would make the social stigma that much worse. So, should I suck it up and try to save my marriage or bite the bullet and throw away any chance of making it work? What is more important, avoiding social stigma or avoiding a lifetime of having to please someone who you aren't sexually attracted to? My spouse and I are very much in love. How are you in love with someone who abused you and bullies you to get their way sexually? He came back from therapy and said that he needs sex, so either he gets a green light to get a fuck buddy or we get divorced. Now he's serving you ultimatums, which sounds like more coercion. Getting divorced would devastate me. Would it devastate you more or less than him sleeping with other people or you forcing yourself to sleep with him? I got married very young. May I ask how young? What's the age of your partner? Is there a large age gap where he groomed you when you were younger? I'm very wary that he manipulated you early on and you're starting to wake up to his toxic behavior. Great relationship, lots of abuse, sounds awesome. Do people even read the shit they write in here? My boyfriend told his best friend to stay with his girlfriend after he cheated on her. I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend C for 5 months. It was really love at first sight and after we met it was going great until we started talking about relationships and cheating. C used to follow a lot of girls on social media and told me that wanting to F other girls while in a relationship is normal, and that every human wants to cheat, there are only the good ones that don't give in. I, of course, was really disappointed and started backing away. After some time, we eventually really fell in love. I'm his first love, and after confronting him about his previous words, he deleted every girl and he told me that now I changed his way of thinking and that he could never look at anyone else. It's now 4 months later, and last week he told me how his best friend, A, kept on cheating on his girlfriend every weekend. I was sad to hear that and told him that A should break up with her, and he told me that A was planning on doing so but that he convinced him not to. I was shocked by that and asked him why he would do that. He responded by saying that A was just hitting on girls at the club and nothing more, and that A is a good guy because he went on a trip with another girl behind her back but he didn't do anything. But when I told my boyfriend about it, he also said that he wanted to leave her instead of continuing doing this. That's when my boyfriend told him not to, just hide the truth, try and be happy with her, so I decided to do so. I got really mad and asked him how he could do that and that he just sentenced a girl to a miserable relationship. He then told me how she wouldn't be miserable as she doesn't know, and he just wanted his best friend to be happy, and how I was the one that made him believe in love, and that's why he did it. I lashed out at him because I couldn't believe how he could defend this, say I made him do it and why wouldn't he do that to me as well. He then told me that he would never do that he's madly in love with me and that it's just for his friend. I'm really scared that if our relationship lasts and faces hard times, he will eventually go back to everything he told me and that he could actually do the same thing. I then started questioning our relationship and now he's really mad at me for doing so and says that I am overreacting and too sensitive and that I don't love him if I question our love, only for this. What do you guys think? Did I overreact? Are his words of the beginning of our relationship still there, just blinded by the current honeymoon phase? IDK, what to do? What? Oh honey. He told you what kind of guy he was, and you're just not believing him. Leave, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Also, hit A's girlfriend up on the way out to clue her in. He's clearly shown you who he is. Why are you doubting yourself? If he's okay with his friend cheating and thinks you getting upset about it is being too sensitive, then he's probably going to do the same thing and shame you into thinking you're too whiny because you have a problem with it. Guarantee he has already cheated himself. Why wouldn't he do that to me as well? He will. His behavior of encouraging his friend to keep the cheating secret is incredibly telling of his beliefs. It's only a matter of time until he justifies cheating on you. If he was a decent guy, he'd be encouraging his friend to confess the cheating to the friend's girlfriend and let her have the right to make an informed choice on her relationship.